No one has left the mansion, but I've heard nothing within. Denarius may know we're here. I wouldn't put it past him.
I could stand to know a little more about this Denarius.
He is a magister of the Tevinter Imperium.
Oh, is that all? Nothing to worry about, then.
There, he is a wealthy mage with great influence. Here, he is but a man who sweats like any other when death comes for him.
What's the worst that could happen?
I do not fear death. That does not mean we should be reckless. Gone. I had hoped... No, it doesn't matter any longer. I assume Denarius left valuables behind. Take them if you wish. I need some air. It never ends. I escaped a land of dark magic, only to have it hunt me at every turn. It is a plague burned into my flesh and my soul. And now I find myself in the company of yet another mage. I saw you casting spells inside. I should have realized sooner what you really were. Tell me then, what manner of mage are you? What is it that you seek?
You want me to tell you and spoil all the fun?
You are skilled. I know that much.
If you have a problem with my sister, you have a problem with me.
I imagine I appear ungrateful. If so, I apologize, for nothing could be further from the truth. I did not find Denarius, but I still owe you a debt. Here is all the coin I have, as Anso promised. Should you find yourself in need of assistance, I would gladly render it.
Your old master must want something more than just a runaway slave.
He doesn't want me at all, just the markings on my skin. They are lyrium, burned into my flesh to provide the power that Denarius required of his pet. And now, he wishes his precious investment returned, even if he must rip it from my corpse.
Seems like a waste of a perfectly handsome elf.
The truth is, I know nothing of the ritual that placed these markings on me. It was Denarius's choice, one he now regrets.
I've seen some of your abilities. Do they come from those markings?
Some. All I know is that even in the Imperium, warriors such as myself are rare. Perhaps they believe I should feel honored.
Do you think your master will keep chasing you?
He is too proud not to. Perhaps one day the hunt will cost him more than he is willing to pay, but I doubt that matters any longer.
I'm planning an expedition I might need help with.
Fair enough. Should you ever have need of me, I will be here. If Denarius wishes his mansion back, he is free to return and claim it. Beyond that, I am at your disposal.
Sebastian! Stop this madness! The Chantry cannot condone revenge, Sebastian.
It is my right, my duty, to show these assassins there is nowhere in the Free Marches to hide.
This is murder.
No. What happened to my family was murder. You there, Ferelden. I wish to speak with you. I've heard you have dealings with certain elements in the city. You can get things done on the sly, as they say.
That's a fancy way to put it.
I am a magistrate in this city, and as such, I wish to hire you for a small, albeit important, job. A man I sentenced to a life in prison has escaped custody. He's been tracked to an abandoned ruin outside the city. I'd like you to retrieve the fugitive and hand him over to the guard.
Why is there such a clamor to catch this man? What has he done?
He's escaped. That's reason enough to catch him.
We're both intelligent people. There's something in the ruins, isn't there?
There is something, yes. There are creatures in the ruins. The guards I sent are ill-equipped to deal with such beasts.
Do you know what manner of beasts they are?
I don't know what they look like. I've never seen one myself. The guards say these things have already torn through a full company of men.
It would be easier to seal up the entrance and let the beasts take care of him.
I believe in justice, Ferelden, not unbridled slaughter. I will not let prisoners be eaten just because I don't want to get my hands dirty.
I'm sure if you send in enough men this time, they'd do fine.
No. The more guards who know, the easier it is for this to get out. Those men gossip like old fishwives.
I'll take the job.
Bring the fugitive in alive, quickly and quietly. Not only will you be well paid, you'll have the gratitude of a city magistrate. Useful for a refugee, wouldn't you agree?
Out of your element, dwarf.
No thanks to this lot, can't get a decent blade at a bargain anymore. You, though, you're what a man needs. A skilled enthusiast.
You can start making sense any time now.
My manners. Javaris Tintop, merchant and investor. I need forward thinkers to help court the Qunari.
Court the Qunari? Maker, think of the children.
Those hornheads in Kirkwall have a powder that explodes, and it's just dust. No lyrium, no demons. Anyone can use it.
I often look at every second idiot and think, he needs more power.
I doubt they were eager to sell.
That Arishok said I wasn't worthy. That only their outcast, the Talvashath, or that mercenary. I said, great, I'll go talk to them. Didn't go over well. But, made me think. Maybe he'll bargain if I get rid of something that bothers him more than, well, me.
The Talvashath.
The Talvashath. Are you up for some paid hunting?
Your people must have something like that already.
Small things, shaped to crack faults, not shatter the earth. Plus, they're mostly lyrium. Expensive, poisonous, the chantry controls it topside, the glow makes you a target. Problem after problem.
Your people must have something like that already.
Small things, shaped to crack expensive, poisonous, the chantry controls it topside, the glow makes you a target. Problem after problem.
All right, I'll step in for you. For a price.
I'm done bargain hunting, I want it done right. Now, best I could figure, they're up the Wounded Coast, a whole camp. Take their heads off and meet me at the compound in Kirkwall. Get this right, and we'll be richly rewarded. Richly.
I hear you're in need of a bit of help.
Ah, so you're the reinforcements the magistrate promised. The man you're looking for, he's holed up in the ruins. Though I doubt he's still in one piece.
That bastard's to be brought in alive after all he's done? Just because it isn't you and your pretty little Shemlin children he's after.
Look at these guards. I doubt either of them has to worry about having pretty children.
That's not what I meant. The man you're after, he targets elves. He dragged my daughter into those ruins and killed her! I want him dead! My girl, Leah, she wasn't his first victim. Over the years, he's taken dozens of our children, and not once has he paid for his crimes.
Would you mind telling me who you are?
My name is Elwyn. I'm a merchant in the city. Please, no one else cares that our children are being slaughtered like beasts.
There must be some humans who would take offense to these disappearances.
We're nothing to them. Even if this murderer does finally go before the courts, the magistrate won't take our word over his.
Why only elves? Why not human children as well?
We're easy prey. No one thinks twice when an elven child disappears.
I'll tear his throat out myself.
Thank you, Sarah. You have no idea what this means. For all my damn coin, I'm still only an elf to these Shemlin. There'll be no justice for my girl in the courts of Kirkwall.
What do you say about all this?
They won't go in after him. They're stalling, trying to give the murdering bastard a chance to get away.
Oi now, elf. Like we said before, you're bleeding mad if you think we'll be going against the magistrate's orders.
This murderer cannot be allowed to walk free.
Then that bastard will finally get what he deserves. Thank you.
Not wise, stranger. You try to take justice into your own hands, the magistrate'll have your head.
Better men have tried, and failed. Horribly.
I knew my father would eventually send someone. I was hoping the beasts down here would get to me first.
You wanted those creatures to kill you. Why?
It's what I deserve. I should be torn apart, forgotten down here, not protected by my father.
From the magistrate's vague description, I expected a hardened criminal, not a whining coward.
He didn't tell you, did he? The magistrate is my father. He's tried so hard to keep me, and what I've done, hidden away.
Oh, I suppose that's why he wanted this hushed up.
I'm not here to discuss the magistrate.
Father is a good man. He tried to help, to stop me. But he can't. No one can. That elf girl, she had no right to be so beautiful, so perfect. The demons said she needed to be taught a lesson, like all the others. The Circle was supposed to help me, but they lied. They said there were no demons, that I was mad. This isn't my fault.
Leah said you told her to run. Why?
I was crying, and she asked me if I was all right. After everything the demons made me do to her, she was concerned about me. How could I let them destroy something so good, so pure?
Let me get this straight. You torture and murder elven children for being too beautiful.
While blaming demons that aren't there. He's just mad.
I didn't want to hurt them. They forced me. The demons don't like it when they cry.
If the Circle suspected a demon at work, they wouldn't risk setting you loose in the city.
No. They lied.
Excuse after excuse. Can we just kill him?
I can't stop. I've tried so many times. Please, you have to kill me. There's no other way.
There, see? He wants to die. Problem solved.
Just tell my father I'm sorry. For everything.
Must you be so dramatic?
You saved her. My little girl. I didn't dare hope... Did you find that monster? Is he dead?
We could bring him back as the undead and then kill him again.
No, that's all right. I'd rather he stay dead. I didn't believe an elf could ever get justice in Kirkwall. I speak for all of us when I say that we are in your debt, Sirrah.
I feel just as bad for those knife ears as the next man. But ignoring the magistrate's direct orders, that's madness.
No further, human. Tal Vishoth control these passages.
Ambushes are usually quieter, Kunari.
I did not intend to ambush. I expected to warn a caravan, but you are not helpless. The path ahead is littered with my kind. If you are as skilled as you look, it would please me if you killed them.
And I should trust you.
I have no history of betraying your people, only my own. I did not like my role, so I left the queue. I do not wish to be a murdering thief, so I left these Tal Vishoth to warn their victims. You are no victim, so now I will leave.
I want a friendly way to get what I need.
You will be disappointed. They are reveling in chaos. It is a wretched freedom. I still need order, even if I insult the core of the Qun by selling my honor as a mercenary.
If your blade is on the market, I'll pay.
No.
You sure you know what mercenary means?
Taking payment to face Tal Vishoth only proves that I've sold the last of myself. I know what I am. I don't need to belabor it. You have my word of caution, human. Heed it or do not.
When I told your grandmother I was marrying your father, she threatened to disown me. She said my children would be mongrels. My father wanted to lock me in, but she told him it's her life, let her ruin it. I wrote to her when each of you were born. She never wrote back. I'm glad she didn't die hating me.
Grandmother didn't want you to leave. She tried holding on to you the only way she knew.
She would have been so proud of you. You're everything she wanted in an Amel grandchild. She might have had a hard time accepting it at first, but she would have loved you, all three of you. Oh, Bethany. She was such a sweet little girl. Never cried, just looked at you with those big eyes.
She was so young to be taken from us.
I just keep thinking there's something we could have done. It's killing me. I remember that awful creature reaching down and 18 years of loving and feeding and raising, and that was it.
Blame the Darkspawn, not yourself.
The Darkspawn would have been happy with any prey. It was my fault it was Bethany. I miss her. There were 4 of us when the Blight began. It will never be over while there are just 3. I've written to the Viscount. I've an audience for after Bartrand's expedition leaves. I couldn't do anything for Bethany, but with luck, I can at least give us a home.
Greetings, my lady. You look like a woman who'd appreciate the finest rubies from Antiva raising her lovely neck. I bring only the best northern merchandise to the free marches.
Actually, I'm more interested in your son.
My lady, I'm a bachelor. I've never met a woman of sufficient beauty and charm to tie Vincento down. Let us not ruin the day with such weighty thoughts. Perhaps I could show you my silks.
We're not Templars, Sirrah. Fenris has nothing to fear from us.
Maldición, you are a mage. I suppose you'd be kind then to a boy who resists being taken in by Templars?
To an elf-blooded child abandoned by his human father? Of course we would.
The boy's in over his head. So I sent him to the only man I know who doesn't despise mages. A former Templar named Samson.
Why would a Templar help him?
His conscience plagues him, having served the Templars too long. He now helps mages on the run. He stays out of sight during the day. At night, he stays near Darktown. That's the best place to find him.
So, will anyone smite me if I tell you I killed the men who wronged your family?
Excuse me, who are... My post to the Chanter's Board? Did Her Grace let that stay? I thought for sure no one even read, but you say you've killed them. You have my eternal gratitude, Sirrah. It is comforting to think my parents might now rest easily in their graves.
Who are you exactly?
I am Sebastian Vale, Prince of Starkhaven. Her Grace might prefer I introduce myself as a brother in the Chantry, but I could not stay after what happened to my family.
Why didn't your family's enemies hunt you down as well?
That's why I took the offensive. Thanks to you, those Flint Company assassins are no longer a danger. I'm the last of my line. Unless I survive, my family will have no justice.
Who sent these mercenaries?
My family has ruled Starkhaven for 6 generations. We have enemies, but none who would identify themselves openly. A distant cousin of mine is claiming rulership now, but he is a bit simple. He can be no more than a pawn in this plot.
Surely you have a guess as to who was behind it.
My parents were always prudent in how they handled our nobles. They did not allow rivalries or resentments to flourish. The attack must have come from outside. Kirkwall is our largest trading partner. I came back here to find support for my claim, and perhaps for a clue as to who is behind this foul deed.
Your parents probably don't care much at this point, but I hope you sleep a bit easier.
Yes, I hope I will. Thank you. Consider this in advance. When I have secured my lands again, you will be paid royally. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must meet with the Viscount and petition him for aid to a fellow city.
If you're seeking aid, leave your name with my girl. We serve everyone here. No one came from Ferelden without trouble. But I can't give priority to anyone who's already found work and lodging.
I hear you know where I can find a Ferelden Grey Warden.
Only Ferelden Grey Warden I've heard of is sitting on the throne. We're out of the Blight's path now. Why would you need a warden?
The healer was one of them once, wasn't he? A warden?
Well, he's not now, and busy enough without answering fool questions about it.
Then I'll only ask very smart questions.
I do not joke, Sirrah. You see what our people face in Kirkwall. They have no jobs, no homes. Most can barely buy bread. This healer, he serves them without thought for coin. He's closed their wounds, delivered their children.
He sounds very busy. We won't be any trouble, we promise.
He's a good man. I won't lose him to the blighted Templars.
You mean he's a mage?
Would I stick my neck out for some purveyor of hensbane and leeches? He doesn't want to be locked in the gallows just for using the gifts the Maker gave him.
Your healer is in no danger from me.
I suppose it isn't my secret to keep. Anders has certainly been free enough with his services. Refugees in Darktown know, to find the healer, look for the lit lantern. If you have need enough, Anders will be within.
Hey, we heard you in there, asking about the healer. We know what happens to mages in this town, and it ain't gonna happen to him.
I'm not turning your healer over to the Templars.
Right. Like anyone turns down the reward for an apostate. Let's shut their mouths.
Ah, my right hand arrives. Summon your era shock. The bargain is done. About time you showed. I've been here for hours. Illustrious Arashok, I am here to report that your hated Talvashoth were felled, one and all. Right? Yes, they were. So, I'm ready to open negotiations for the explosive powder, as we agreed.
No.
He's not getting it. Say something.
The Talvashoth camped at the Wounded Coast are dead. You won't honor your bargain?
There is no bargain to honor. His offer for the Gatlock was refused, so he invented a task to prove his worth, when he has none.
I broke my beard getting your outcasts killed.
But he still has his beard. Do you think it hurts?
You hired someone more competent and now stand in their shadow pretending it is yours. You demean her accomplishment. Get out of my sight before I bother lifting my sword.
He had big plans for your recipe. I was supposed to get a piece of that.
Dwarf, did your imaginary bargain make promises on my behalf?
I expected your wisdom to be more profitable.
Then you will pay on my behalf.
Sod it all, take your coin, take whatever. Hornhead oxmen and mongrel donglords, suck your own powder and blow your head off, sod it.
You will leave as well, human. There's no more coin for you here.
Lord Heremont, what do we do with the human?
Stand down. She's not our foe.
What was that about?
Assassins. The boat to Ravane is within sight, but the carter would see me dead before I get there. How would you like to make some coin?
I've never seen a dwarven lord.
You still haven't. If you're looking at him in daylight, he's not a lord anymore.
I'm Renville Heremont, the last of my house. My family was once revered in Orzammar. Now I'm nothing but a surfacer on the run.
You must have greatly angered the carter for them to attack you with so many witnesses around.
My family was murdered one by King Balin, after my uncle failed to claim the throne. Balin's reach is long, and his vengeance a terrible thing to behold.
I'll clear the way for you, Harrowmont.
Dispatch these ruffians and I'll pay you what I can now. And by the ancestors, I will reward you proper when I am safe. What is your name?
Hawk.
A good name. I will remember it.
The Carta has several groups lying in wait for us. Take the battle to them.
I have made this place a sanctum of healing and salvation. Why do you threaten it?
Strange occupation for a warden. Aren't you more about taint and death? Not healing and salvation.
Did the warden send you to bring me back? I'm not going. Those bastards made me get rid of my cat. Poor Sir Pouncelot. He hated the deep roads.
You had a cat named Sir Pouncelot in the deep roads.
He was a gift. A noble beast. Almost got ripped in half by a genlock once. He swatted the bugger on the nose. Drew blood, too. The blighted warden said he made me too soft. I had to give him to a friend in Amaranthine.
So you came to Kirkwall just to escape the wardens?
You say that like it's a small thing. Yes. I'm here because there's no warden outpost, no darkspawn, and a whole host of refugees to blend in with. And some reasons of my own.
I've always heard that joining the wardens is for life.
That's only partly true. The hopelessly tainted by the darkspawn and plagued by nightmares about the archdemon parts don't go away. But it turns out if you hide well, you don't have to wear the uniform or go to the parties.
I'm part of an expedition into the deep roads. Any information you have could save people's lives.
I will die a happy man if I never think about the blighted deep roads again. You can't imagine what I've come through to get here. I'm not interested. Although, a favor for a favor. Does that sound like a fair deal? You help me, I'll help you.
Let's be more specific. I don't do anything involving children or animals.
I have a warden map of the depths in this area. But there's a price. I came to Kirkwall to aid a friend. A mage. A prisoner in the wretched gallows. The Templars learned of my plans to free him. Help me bring him safely past them, and you shall have your maps.
What do the Templars know of your plans?
I don't know. I had been exchanging notes with Carl through a maidservant in the gallows. Then the letters stopped coming.
You want to make your friend an apostate?
That's such a weighted term. Yes, Andraste said magic should serve man, not rule him. But I've yet to find a mage who wants to rule anything. It goes against no will of the Maker for mages to live as free as other men.
Forcing mages into servitude is not the way to prevent the rise of another Imperium.
That's not usually the response I get. Perhaps we will work together better than I expected.
Tell me about your friend.
His name is Carl Thekla. He was sent here from Ferelden when Kirkwall Circle required new talent. His last letter said the Knight Commander was turning the Circle into a prison. Mages are locked in their cells, refused appearances at court, made tranquil for the slightest crimes. I told him I would come.
Are these accusations true?
Ask any mage in Kirkwall. Over a dozen were made tranquil just this year. The more people you ask, the worse the rumors become.
How do you plan to break him out of the gallows?
I'm hoping it won't come to that. I sent Carl a message to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Maker willing, he'll be there, alone. But if there are Templars with him, I swear I'll free him from them, whatever the cost.
What do the Templars know of your plans?
I don't know. I had been exchanging notes with Carl through a maidservant in the gallows.
Then the letters stopped coming.
I would help any mage in such circumstances. Map or no.
Now you're just trying to get on my good side. I welcome your aid. I have already sent word for Carl to meet me in the Chantry tonight. Join us there, and we'll ensure that no matter who is with him, we all walk away free. I saw Carl go inside a few minutes ago. No Templars so far. Are you ready?
I didn't see anyone suspicious out here. Let's do this fast.
All right. I'll handle the talking. You watch for Templars.
Anders, I know you too well. I knew you would never give up.
What's wrong? Why are you talking like...
I was too rebellious, like you. The Templars knew I had to be... made an example of.
No!
How else will mages ever master themselves? You'll understand, Anders. As soon as the Templars teach you to control yourself. This is the apostate.
No!
You will never take another mage as you took him.
Anders, what did you do? It's like... you brought a piece of the Fade into this world. I had already forgotten what that feels like.
What did you do? Not the Fade part. The angry, glowing bit.
It's like a gateway to the Fade inside you, glowing like a beacon.
I have some unique circumstances, yes. But Carl, what happened? How did they get you?
The Templars here are far more vigilant than in Ferelden. They found a letter I was writing you. You cannot imagine it, Anders. All the color, all the music in the world, gone. I would gladly give up my magic. But this... I'll never be whole again.
The poor man.
Please, kill me before I forget again. I don't know how you brought it back, but it's fading.
Carl, no.
Maybe we can find a cure.
Can you cure a beheading? The dreams of tranquil mages are severed. There is nothing left of them to fix.
I would rather die a mage than live as a Templar puppet.
I would rather die than be tranquil. Help him.
I got here too late. I'm sorry, Carl. I'm so sorry.
Now! It's fading! Why do you look at me like that?
Goodbye. We should leave before more Templars come.
So, let me guess. This is the part where you tell me you're an abomination?
You're wrong. But not far wrong. This is hard to explain. When I was in Amaranthine, I met a spirit of justice who was trapped outside the Fade. We became friends, and he recognized the injustice that mages in Thedas face every day.
And that's different than a demon?
Just as demons prey on the deadly sins of mankind, there are good spirits who embody our virtues. Spirits of compassion, fortitude, justice. They are the Maker's first children, and they have all but given up on us.
What does this have to do with your eyes glowing?
To live outside the Fade, he needed a host. I offered to help him. We were going to work together, bring justice to every child ever ripped away from his mother to be sent to the Circle. But I guess I had too much anger. Once he was inside me, he changed.
So, you have this spirit of justice living in your head?
It's not like that. He's gone now. He's part of me. It's not like we can have a conversation. I feel his thoughts as my own. Not even the greatest scholar could tell you where I end and he begins.
That really didn't look like a happy, benevolent spirit from where I was standing.
Since when is justice happy? Justice is righteous. Justice is hard. But my anger, when I see Templars now, things that have always outraged me, but I could never do anything about, he comes out. And he is no longer my friend, Justice. He is a force of vengeance, and he has no grasp of mercy.
Can justice ever be separated from you?
I don't think so. The only way a spirit has ever been separated from a living host is by its death. The curse is of my own making. All I can do now is hope to control it.
Can you bring him out at will?
No. He comes only when I've lost all power over myself. It's a madness, a frenzy. I only find out after what I might have done.
Is there anything I can do for you?
You're the first one I've ever told this. Thank you for not running away. My maps are yours. As am I, if you wish me to join your expedition. I thought I was done with the Grey Wardens. But if you have any need of me, I will be waiting here.
Thank you. I thought them coterie men had me for sure. I guess the whole thing was a trap. There were no dwarves when I went to make the trade. Just coterie waiting to kill us. They got the rest of the boys. I ran. I was hoping they wouldn't find me here. But they did.
Is that Athenril's rival criminal guild or something?
More like she's their rival. A small one at that. What I hear is the coterie controls most crime in Kirkwall. And they don't like competition.
You're a bit young to be doing this.
I'm 15. But I can usually pass for a man. My mama was ripped in two by one of them big horned darkspawn. It's just me and my sisters now. Working for Athenril's the only way to feed the girls.
Why not take what Athenril gave you and start fresh somewhere outside of Kirkwall?
What do you mean?
There's always work to be found on farms for a healthy young man.
My father was a farmer. Before the darkspawn got him. I'd rather do that than work for Athenril. I'll get my sisters. Please, make sure she doesn't come after us.